Warning, the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rated M for mature.
Previously on the first two episodes of Drew's gaming life. In the first episode, Drew got a big fat stack of Sega Mega Drive platformers. He also picked up a nice lot of PS4 games to add to his ever-growing collection. In the second episode, he bought some horror games, which included Last of Us for PS4. Can't believe he hasn't played that. Also, a couple of Silent Hill games from the series. He was joined by special guest David from Deckard Games, and let's not forget that he got his butt kicked by a 5-year-old on Street Fighter V in the first episode. What have we got in store for us in the latest episode of Drew's gaming life? Let's find out.
Hi there guys, welcome to the latest episode of Drew's Gaming Life, and this one is another horror Halloween related video games pickup video. So I've been picking up quite a few games, being the month of October. I've been looking for games that are sort of like Halloween related, creepy, horror, all that sort of stuff. I grabbed a load of stuff here that sort of relates to that. So let's get into the first pickup. Okay, so the first pickup's a slight stretch on this one, but it's a Sega Mega Drive game. It's a game I've wanted since I was a child. I never owned it, but I remember seeing it being played on Games Master on television, and it is Kid Chameleon. The case is a bit bashed up on this one, it's a bit broken on there and there, but it was really cheap, so I wasn't really that fussed. Overall, the colours are still nice, it looks good, and I've included this one because you could obviously wear different masks and become different characters, and you had like the hockey mask, sort of like Jason Voorhees type thing there, and this sort of skull tank. I mean, there was loads of samurais, there's all kinds of stuff. It's a 2D platform game. Always looked like one of the games I'd really enjoy back then, and I've wanted it since I was a kid, so I was really chuffed to find that one. Okay, moving up a generation, we're going to be looking at a PS1 game. It's a game from one of my favourite franchises of all time. It's Resident Evil, and I've managed to pick up Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Definitely not the best game out of the sort of original PlayStation 1 trilogy, but I want to get as many of them as I can, so definitely had to pick it up. Still lots to enjoy in this game. It's still really good. The whole aspect of the Nemesis chasing you and hunting you down is really, you know, it's quite interesting. And yeah, pretty good. Case is in pretty decent condition except from the crack here, but you get that a lot with these PlayStation dual cases. But it comes with the manual and the disc, so yeah, couldn't really grumble at that. I think that cost me about £7, which is pretty good for that. Okay, next up, going up another generation, we're going up to PlayStation 2. This is another Resident Evil game, and it is Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Yeah, I originally played Code Veronica on the Dreamcast. It originally came out on the Dreamcast, but I don't own a Dreamcast at the minute, so I'm not going to go rushing out to buy games for that, even though it's a console I want to try and get hold of soon. So I grabbed it on the PS2 because I own a PS2. Again, manual and disc, all in there. Although the disc looks a bit faded. I mean, unless it's the colour it was, I don't know. Really enjoyed this one. You start off on this prison, on this island, and you're playing Claire Redfield, and I think you're looking for Chris. And later on you can play Chris. I really enjoyed this game on the Dreamcast, so I'm actually really looking forward to maybe going through it again. So that's Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Okay, going up another generation again. And sticking with the theme of zombies and Capcom, I picked up Dead Rising 2, and this one's the off-the-record version. So I haven't got the normal Dead Rising 2 as of yet, but I found this one, and I really love zombies. I love Dead Rising. The first game is probably one of my favourite games ever. So yeah, I thought I would grab this one while I saw it for £2. Probably the best version of Dead Rising 2. I mean, the Dead Rising 2 was okay, but I think people didn't like the new character. Was it Chuck someone? So they made another version of it, like a director's cut version, but with Frank West in it again. I love the back there, like a newspaper cut in. That looks really cool. Yeah, everything's in there, disc and manual. It was quite funny in the shop because when I purchased this in CEX, the guy went to get the disc from the back, and I saw he was putting the regular Dead Rising disc in there, and I said to him, mate, are you sure that's the right game? Because I don't think it is. And then his boss sort of said to him, well, hey, you need to check that, mate, because there's 2 versions of that game. So I've got the correct disc in there, so thank God. Staying on the Xbox 360, but we're going over to vampires as opposed to zombies. I've picked up Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2.
This must be a dream.
Now, Lords of Shadow 1, I think, is a very good game. I really enjoyed that. A lot of Castlevania fans might not agree. So I thought I'd pick up the second one. Now, I just got this as I was moving over to Xbox One, and at the time I just had a baby, Ryden. So I then sort of played literally like an hour of this and then stopped. So I thought I'll pick it up again. I really enjoyed the first one, but I know a lot of people say this isn't that great. It didn't cost me a lot, it cost me a couple of quid. So I thought, yeah, why not give it another go?
Trevor died a long time ago, Father. I am all you come.
That is my vengeance.
On 360 again, I've picked up a survival horror game based off of a movie franchise. A movie franchise I'm not that keen on, in all honesty. But this game I thought was pretty decent. And it's Saw. And it's like a sort of puzzle survival horror game based off the Saw movie. You wake up in one of Jigsaw's, houses of death, and you've got to basically solve the puzzles to get out. I think I 1,000 gamer scored this game. Back in the days where I was a bit of a gamer score whore, and I would just buy games for the sake of getting the achievements. But I actually did enjoy this, and it's another sort of horror-y, creepy game to play around the Halloween period. A good one to stick in the collection, I think, because in all honesty, I think it's one of the few movie to game adaptations that was actually reasonably alright. Okay, last 2 games will be moving up to the current generation. I picked this up for £5. This is the game that made me want to buy an Xbox One, and it is Dead Rising 3. So Dead Rising 2 earlier. Dead Rising 3, I really enjoyed this one as well. Didn't actually complete it that much, but graphically and just the sheer scope of the amount of zombies and things you could have in that game. I remember seeing the videos at the E3 when the Xbox One was being announced. I thought it looked amazing. Graphically it looked pretty good for one of the very first launch titles on the Xbox One. And so I just really wanted to get it again. So yeah, looking forward to actually maybe going and finishing that one off, Dead Rising 3. Okay, last game we're going back to Capcom, and it is Devil May Cry, the HD collection. So we've got the three first Devil May Cry's 1, 2 and 3 on the PlayStation 4.
Let's rock.
I can't imagine graphically they've actually souped it up that much. It would just be a little bit more, just be high def, but still the exact same graphics. But with Devil May Cry 5 coming out beginning of next year, I wanted to go through the original 3, and I think Dante is one of the coolest video game characters of all time. The first 3 games were very good. I actually am a big fan of number 4 as well, even though some people don't like that so much because it's brings in Nero, and people were like, oh, you know, it's that whole Metal Gear Solid thing again where you had Snake, and then in number 2 you were like, oh no, you're right, and the game's rubbish. Well, the game wasn't rubbish, it's just they did something different. In this one, so Nero, in number 4 again, yet they brought Nero in. The first 3 games, just Dante, and yeah, they're very good. Dante's a very cool character, so I had to go through this again before 5 comes out. It's a great pickup for me. Okay guys, hope you've enjoyed this pickups video. Really, I love October, I love Halloween, and I love playing sort of games that are sort of survival horror, scary, or just have that sort of, you know, Halloween monster vibe to them. So really happy to pick those up this month. Okay, hope you've enjoyed the video guys. If you have, as always, please give it a like. Leave comments in the comment section below about the games I've picked up. Let me know what you thought was good, good pickups, and what not so good. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel for more video game content, as well as other video gaming, pop culture related collectible stuff. And thanks for watching guys, and I hope to see you next time. Take it easy.